Today, we share with all of you the improvements to the park to include this respectful and honorable walkway that enshrines close to 1,000 etched bricks.
This place is more than grass and brick and stone. We honor our veterans by both remembering their sacrifice and reaffirming our commitment to those values for which they served.
As we walk this path, let us always be together and praying for peace.
In fact, each brick is a chapter in that legacy.
The Ipswich Veterans Memorial has 9 sections. It starts at the Revolutionary War, Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korean War, the Vietnam War, Iraq, Afghanistan War, and veterans' families.
Ipswich has a way of holding on to its stories. Its green sits at the heart of town, bordered by homes older than most states, watched over by a stone bridge that's been standing since 1764. Long before this walkway, Ipswich had already built places to remember its veterans. The first memorial, made of wood and glass, was raised in 1944 as the Second World War raged overseas. It didn't survive the decades. In 1984, the veterans of Ipswich rebuilt in granite something meant to last. But for 40 years, the dream of something larger, something that told the story of everyone who served, remained just that. A dream.
Planning started over a year ago, actually a week after the 80th anniversary of D-Day Parade. Jim Grapham, Ted Lemmy, and I agreed that this Veterans Memorial Park needed to be improved and a permanent walkway installed.
The spark came not from a blueprint, but from a parade. In 2024, Ipswich came together to mark 80 years since D-Day. It wasn't a small thing. This was a full town effort.
So for the parade, we raised $86,000 and we had $5,000 left over. And then Ted came to me and said, "Hey, great job on the parade. I got something else you might want to think about." He says, "How about the brick walkway?"
That question set the town in motion. What began as a celebration of history became the beginning of a new chapter.
Larry and I have talked about this quite a bit. A place for somebody to come and reflect and honor either their brick or somebody they know, hopefully some peace and quiet. If you want to come here and just sit down and, reflect a little bit. I think it's going to be a perfect spot for that to happen.
And we'd have a meeting here once a month and people were given assignments. So I would start the meeting with say the Pledge of Allegiance, somebody would say a prayer, and then I'd go to the first person, it was typically the Chief of Police. "What do you have?" It was bang, bang, all the way around the table.
This wasn't a government project handed down from above. It was a grassroots mission. Veterans and neighbors sitting shoulder to shoulder, figuring out how to build a memorial that would last longer than any of them. When people think about monuments, they often imagine ceremonies. But the truth is, before the speeches come the shovels. Before honor comes hard labor.
When we went out and we did the work, we had 9 days in a row, over 90 degrees. We were dying out there, but it was cool. And I saw the town come together. This is a unique town. The people came in, they brought water, goodies, donuts, coffee, and people would come in and bring a cooler down, and it was amazing because the 2 guys who work with me are vets from that era as well, and they said, "Wow, this is really something, really something."
We present this walkway with respect and honor, with sincere gratitude for the service and sacrifice of all who served and those who continue to serve. Today, you will have the opportunity to view your veterans' etched brick
And with the bricks came the names, close to 1,000 of them, names that stretch across centuries of American history. Each of these bricks doesn't just name a soldier, it places them in time, in context. This is a living record, meant to be walked on and read.
The names of 2 Ipswich residents who were recipients of the Medal of Honor are etched on pavers located in the Civil War section: John Manning and Thomas Ellsworth. There is the famed World War II four-star general George S. Patton III, remembered here, along with his son George S. Patton IV, a major general who served in combat in Korea and Vietnam. When Ipswich residents served, they became jet fighter pilots, helicopter pilots, infantrymen, grunts, aviators, medics, airborne soldiers who jumped out of aircraft, sailors who rode ships in angry seas, up muddy rivers into the depths of oceans that's hard to imagine. There are Marines and Army soldiers who ran toward the enemy in jungles, rushed onto beaches and across rice paddies to defend the innocent from determined enemies. There are Coast Guard men and women who patrolled our nation's shores, interdicted drug traffickers, and saved those stranded at sea. There are members of the United States Air Force who provided close air support to ground troops.
Some stories here are about courage in battle. Some are about endurance after it.
There are several men who were taken prisoner by cruel enemies and who were treated inhumanely. Some were killed while in captivity. In World War II, Robert Kurtz, Army Air Force co-pilot, was shot down on his 20th mission over Germany and spent years as a POW. His story is memorialized in the book, The Green Box, written by his son Jim. There is a Marine's name etched here who was on a dangerous reconnaissance mission on the Philippine Islands before the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. Marine Sergeant June Begala was captured shortly after the fall of Corregidor, Philippine Islands, and held prisoner of war until the end of World War II. Edward McMillan Jr. was held at the German prisoner of war camp Stalag Luft III, featured in the movie The Great Escape.
These are names you may not read in history books, but they are the kind of names that built the country's history.
It's a tribute to those members of Ipswich who served and continue to serve with honor and courage. But importantly, this memorial is for the families, because theirs was a service as well. A service of waiting, of worry, of holding down the fort at home, countless hours away from their loved one, moving time and again in support of their veteran. They too answered the call to serve.
Whether you have a friend or relative that's in the memorial, you could sit and you could appreciate the sacrifices that everyone's made.
There's a story to every section. When you get to Vietnam, Ipswich, a small community, in my class of 1966, we lost 5 to Vietnam.
Behind each etched name is a face, a family, and a ripple that carried through generations. That's why this walkway isn't just a memorial to the fallen. It's a place for the living to understand what was given.
When I was down, laying the bricks, laying the pavers, I came across my dad's, Gerald Keogh. I did not expect what I found. I laid that brick and I left for about 10 minutes. Gathered myself and came back and I said, all right, I'm through this. I'll make this work. And I got it. Because I never had that opportunity when I was younger, because my dad never said a damn word. Not a word. I mean, he sacrificed his future. Many sacrificed their lives. He sacrificed his future for me and for everybody to be safe. And what was amazing to me was that during that ceremony, which was a fabulous ceremony, I saw people becoming very, very emotional, either walking over the bricks or they'd reach down and touch. And I said, this is something special. I've never been a part of anything that touched me like that.
This evening at 6:30 will be the first time a Veterans Memorial Park illumination will be turned on and will remain on from dusk to dawn each day hereafter. You ask yourself, who are they? They're sons and daughters, mums and dads, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, friends, neighbors, and fellow warriors. They were teachers, farmers, mechanics, salesmen, carpenters, clambers, fishermen, clergy, athletes, scholars, doctors, nurses, lawyers, construction workers, firemen, policemen, and many who left were right out of high school.
The connection between public safety and serving and the service, I think, is a dedication to community, and it's an urge to serve. Everybody that I know on my force, it's just a calling. And I have some veterans that are still active duty with me that served in the Iraq War and Afghanistan.
For many here, service isn't a chapter of life. It's a through line.
There's an etched brick with the name of a young Marine who left the family farm in New Hampshire at 17 years old and joined the Marine Corps. He fought with the 1st Battalion, 7th Marines, 1st Marine Division, led by Colonel Chesty Puller, in the South Pacific Island battles of Guadalcanal, Tarawa, and Palaloo. Seriously wounded and suffering from malaria, this young Marine was shipped home to recover. That Marine was my dad, Marine PFC Herbert Jordan.
Be deliberate. Participate in remembering. Safeguard this memorial. Do not allow it to be marred or tarnished, nor allow anyone to denigrate the honor, courage, and loyalty that it represents. Be worthy of the service and sacrifice this memorial represents.
But my hope is that we'll also think of this walkway not as something that ends right here. We'll think of it as something that carries us into the future.
What's built in stone must be protected in spirit. A memorial isn't finished the day it's unveiled. It's finished when the stories stop being told. And here, that isn't going to happen.
This walkway connects the past with the present, a permanent tribute to the patriots of this town.
Ted Lemieux stated, "When written about 50 years from now, we hope this Veterans Memorial Park and Walkway is respected and honored the same as we honor it today." Ipswich, the walkway of names, built by a community, lit by its memory, kept alive by the people who refuse to forget it.